Sure.
And this is I think a pretty good question. Why do you think so many people are buying his stock going into this season?
I think it's pretty simple. Like, he played incredible defense on Jalen Brunson in the playoffs, and that was seen on a national scale, right? Like, at the end of the day, like, a lot of national media discourse, for the most part, is on people who watch like a few games of a team, right? Like,
Mhm.
and that's understandable. Like, it's a lot of games happening at all times, and now you need a million subscription services to watch games, but which is its own conversation. But Ausar Thompson is someone who you heard a lot about in the draft process, and a lot about at the beginning of his rookie year, and then nothing for a
Yeah.
long time. And he started out really slow last season, and understandably slow. He was coming back from a blood clot. He hadn't been able to train, and he's just really getting thrown in the fire. But towards that second half of the season, Ausar Thompson really found his groove, not only defensively, but also offensively. And I thought one of the biggest nitpicks I had for JB was kind of reducing Asar's role on offense towards like that latter third of the regular season, where it felt like Ausar Thompson was just kind of back to standing in the corner, or just kind of not really being a focal point of the offense. If he really gets the ball in his hands, I thought really good things happened. Granted, he didn't get the opportunity to do it as much in the playoffs, but Ausar Thompson is like a basketball Swiss Army knife, to steal a quote from Jamil McMillan. He can do so much so well on the court that, like, not utilizing his skill set is a weakness in of itself. I think a lot of people saw how well he played against Jalen Brunson, and also how many opportunities he created from his defense on Jalen Brunson. You think of that game 6, I mean, which also obviously ended with Ausar Thompson getting crossed. It happens at the end of the day, but
Yeah.
on every other possession, Ausar Thompson was shutting him down. He got beat on one play, and obviously that one play was an unfortunate play to get beat on, but like, Ausar Thompson played incredible defense, and it was actually getting to a point where, when he was getting subbed out, fans in the arena were getting visibly and audibly frustrated with JB for pulling him from the game. Uh, Ausar Thompson is a difference maker, no doubt about it. And I think the most exciting thing about Ausar is that he's only really now coming into like his second full year of NBA basketball. Um, and I think that's really, really exciting, because Ausar Thompson is, I mean, LeBron said it, like, the twins are not like us, right? Like, they just are. We talk about athletic freaks, like Ausar Thompson is right all the way up there. And the things he's able to do on the court, specifically with his defense as well, makes him so exciting. And I think the prospect of seeing him evolve is really exciting for anyone, and obviously especially Pistons fans.
We had this conversation during the season. I don't know if you remember, but we were saying, like, he's just playing in the corner. He's in the dunker spot. And then I don't know what happened, but JB's like, why don't we try point Ausar? See what happens.
Yep.
And just everything opened up for him. It opened up for his teammates. I think he's just a nightmare to stay in front of, because he's just faster. He can jump higher. And just some of the reads that he can make are incredible. If that handle gets tighter, I think it creates so many opportunities for him to get to the rim, or, find the open man. But
Yep.
it's just about exploring his potential. And it kind of goes to, like, how much do you want to put on his plate this year? Do you want him just to be the stand in the corner guy, play good defense, maybe be your fourth option? Or do you want to explore that point as far as what you're doing last year, and you have different looks, whether it's Kate bringing the ball up the court, whether it's Jaden Ivey, Ausar. I would like the second option. I would like multiple ball handlers bringing the ball up the court, more having the ball in Asar's hands, because I think it just creates so many mismatches. And to your point, like some of just the defense on Jalen Brunson, man. Like they were up 8 points, and there was nothing Jalen Brunson could do up into that. I kind of call it a push because it kind of looked like he pushed off a little bit, but I just keep telling myself that.
I can't lie. I can't lie. So I saw that in my viewfinder on my camera, and I have like the bird's eye view. I mean, there's if you play basketball, and especially if you play defense, like it happens, like you get crossed, but he did get crossed. There was no push, but I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of. He did all he could that series, and specifically that game. I thought he was incredible that game. Like, talk about breakout performance. Like, to me, that was a breakout performance for Ausar, and it really points to the fact that like it's ultimately how he's used that really dictates his performance. If you put him in a position to succeed, where you know his skill set and you know the things that you can do to put him in spots where he's being used, that's all he needs. That's legitimately all he needs.
Even the game before that in New York, where he had like 20 points, and like Josh Hart, I could see the anxiety on his face every time the guy had the ball in his hands. He's like, "Ah, shit, not again." Yeah, he's just such a unique athlete. But I'm buying the Ausar stock to the moon.
100%.
Honestly, like I think he could be in most improved player of the year odds.
For sure.
If you can bet on that, I would personally, just because I could see him averaging close to 12 to 14 points a game if JB puts the ball in his hands, and that free throw percentage, we need it to go up a little bit, like get it a lick around the 70s, and I think we'll be good over here.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Ausar, like obviously the 3-point shot, right? But I think the biggest priorities for this season, you mentioned both of them, and it's the ball handle and his free throws. If he can just get those two things down, we can focus on the 3-point shooting next, right? But like, if he can have a tight, because the handle did get a bit loose, and you could see him panic a little bit with the ball in his hands at certain times. If you just get him to be more comfortable with the ball in his hands and knock down the free throws at a more consistent clip, I think that's a huge sign of improvement.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what Laz and I were talking about last week. Like, so many people are fixated on the 3-point shot, but I was like, you get a tighter handle. And if you get a tighter handle, that means you're probably going to the free throw line, which means you're going to score more points and slow the pace down and have the opportunity to get more steals and have set defense. So, I mean, obviously we want the shot to develop, and I think it will. I just think when you look at kind of Ausar and Ron, I think Ron was, when he came out of the draft, his form was like really good. It's just his landing wasn't the best. And you saw the landing, in the summer league, he shot 40% from three. I think Asar's jump shot needs a couple of off seasons to redefine with Fred Vincent. I think there's a lot of things that they're probably working on, trying to, just get it is just a quick motion where it doesn't feel unnatural.
For sure.
I think Ron, like, he could probably shoot 40% from three, not this year, but maybe the following season, because I think the shot's really good and he puts a lot of work into it. I think Ausar, for me, it's just, you got to give Fred Vincent a couple off seasons for him to work with him.
100%.